Hey everyone, it's Michael and welcome back to Boxmining. So today's going to be a more news-focused episode. We got mainstream media trying to pull out some last stops to shake us out of cryptocurrencies. We got them getting Jordan Belfort, the original wolf of Wall Street, to come out and say, you know what? Bitcoin's a scam. We also got more FUD from China saying, well, yeah, they're trying to ban forums and meetups and everything too, like for the millionth time. So spoilers ahead, we're going to do some real research to see if all of these claims, are they valid, or is this just senseless FUD that mainstream media is trying to convince us to sell the last of a Bitcoin before it rallies? We also have, of course, Brave. Brave browser is reporting quite a lot of downloads on the Android system, and that's a really good thing for development. And we also have EOS. It seems like there's a EOS bug that people are exploiting to abuse and reduce the amount of RAM in the ecosystem. So all this and more on today's Boxmining Daily. And of course, everything covered here is my personal opinion, not financial advice. And if you guys like updates, do hit that like button and the subscribe button as well, so you can get more updates like this in the future. So starting off with the cryptocurrency markets, we got fields of green today. Almost everything is in the green, especially now that we feel like, yeah, we know that the ETF, they're denied, that price is built in. So we got this huge jump here. It broke past 6,800, which was a previous resistance point, and we're still growing a little bit beyond that. And now we're comfortably sitting just south of $7,000 at 6,929. In terms of the altcoins as well, we got quite a big altcoin rally today as well. And this is actually the opposite of what mainstream media wants. So if you look at CNBC, they're trying really hard. They got Jordan Belfort, the wolf of Wall Street. He came out to say, I was a scammer. I had it down to science. It's exactly what's happening with Bitcoin. Basically trying yet again to discredit Bitcoin, calling it a bubble, a Ponzi scheme, yada, yada. We've been hearing this since pretty much the invention of Bitcoin, and that was gathering a lot of momentum. So what I feel like here is that mainstream media is trying super hard to convince us that, well, we should start selling our cryptocurrencies and our Bitcoin. And no more is it more obvious than this interview with Joe Lubin. So this was on Bloomberg earlier this month, but I just felt like this is a perfect example of mainstream media trying desperately hard to get a rise. So let's just take a look.
But I have to imagine that even you can't ignore the price collapse that we're witnessing in crypto. Are you paying attention? Do you care?
Price collapse. It's kind of funny. So this is something that we've seen so many times in the blockchain ecosystem since essentially 2009 when Bitcoin was invented.
So you can see how hyper aggressive he is. Do you care that the prices have fallen? Do you see what's happening? He's trying desperately hard to get something out of Joe Lubin, who you guys kind of know is heavily invested in Ethereum and the ecosystem of Ethereum being in consensus and all. So here what we can see is that mainstream media, and this is repeated with the Charlie Lee interviews, etc., just trying to get like this kind of emotional response to the price, trying yet again to make it feel as if Bitcoin's over, it's a bubble, it's dead. And the funny thing about bubbles that I really want to say here is that I got this question asked to me a lot, do you think Bitcoin's in a bubble? And I'm like, hell yeah, it's always been a bubble. That's humanity. So the issue here is that the general public, the general masses, they're really afraid of the word bubble. They hear it and immediately feel like, oh my God, it's a bubble, we should avoid it. But the matter of fact is that everything's a bubble. And Andreas Antonopoulos put it so succinctly. What do you think of real estate, stock market? That's been on a bull run for 10 years. We got even the US dollar, it's no longer attached to the gold standards, a fiat currency. Do you not think that's a bubble? We're surrounded by bubbles, and acknowledging that is really important. And trying to get people to say Bitcoin is a bubble, that's not a weapon. That should be a tool for education. And rather, if you're trying so desperately hard, what are your inner objectives? What are you trying to do here? And the last bit of the news that I saw quite amusing was this. So this came out today, South China Morning Post. Chinese internet giants shut down cryptocurrency forums and transactions amidst government clampdown. I'm like, yet again trying to do China FUD and ban again just after recently last week you talked about Weibo banning major groups. China FUD's getting old. The matter of fact is that we know in the community that China, the exchange ban, that's been around for a year already, and that is already factored into the price of cryptocurrency. And more to that, you can actually see quite a lot of BS here as well. One of the biggest sites, 8BTC, that's still up and running. The matter of fact is they're just playing at what people don't know. They don't know what the major hubs are. They don't know that, well, maybe most of the chat on cryptocurrency in China is very decentralized in very private groups, and that can't be shut down so easily. And in fact, it's not shut down. I've been doing a lot of research on this and surveying my friends in China, and honestly, Jason reports no change, Justin reports no change. These guys work and live in China, and nothing has changed in China yet. There's articles coming out trying to create China FUD again, trying to mislead the masses into thinking that there's more ban coming when in fact nothing has really changed. So the argument here I'm trying to say is, if you think about it from the perspective of the mainstream media, the matter of fact is that mainstream media has been media for the masses, and yet ironically they have misled the masses a lot. I mean, this video was all the way back in January, and they had Ripple. They're trying to teach people how to buy Ripple. It was on CNBC. And it's a classic case where listening to mainstream media and doing the exact opposite. That's because media for the masses always has a ulterior motive, as an objective. The people who want to manipulate the market, they want to get on the mainstream media and doing our own fact analysis, trying to make sure, checking if these forum websites work. That's really important to get a gauge of what's really going on. So I definitely feel like they're scraping the bottom of the barrel, trying to get as many people that they can possibly find with no names, like the Wolf of Wall Street, Jordan Belfort, trying to get them to say Bitcoin's a scam before, well, Bitcoin starts to gradually gain momentum again. So the last few weak hands can be shaken out and those assets moved on to the people who are trying behind the scenes to manipulate everything. So on that note, I'm definitely starting out my buy strategy. So I've been talking about a long-term strategy, spacing out orders. This is the best way to prevent manipulation. So what I'm doing is I'm setting out my buys, spacing them out. I'm not just buying Bitcoin into altcoins as well. I feel like altcoins present a great opportunity, but they might rise a little bit after Bitcoin, which is traditionally what happened. So I'm going to try to update you guys on what's happening in different coins and the reasons behind that as well. And if you guys have any recommendations, shoot them down below. I'd love to hear what you guys are buying and what you guys are looking into in this current season. In terms of other cryptocurrency news, we got the Brave browser. The Brave browser has reported over 10 million downloads on the Google Play Store. If you guys just don't know what the Brave browser is, it's a browser that blocks out all the ads. In fact, I'm using it right now. What it does is it blocks these ads on a browser level. So it's not like, Google Chrome when you have ad block installed, where they show the ad, they enable the tracking, they start tracking you, and then you kind of hide it. With Brave, it completely blocks it and just says, no, we don't want that. We don't want those ads wasting space, waste on our screens, and especially if you're on a mobile phone, wasting battery as well, because loading ads and playing animations, that's a waste of resources you can better use elsewhere. So Brave's really gaining popularity, and for a good reason. I mean, who doesn't want more battery on their phone? So at this core level, it's cool to see that Brave is being adopted. And what's cool about Brave is that because you're not seeing ads, you can deposit the basic attention there, and it gives back to the publishers as well. So it's really a new way of thinking it. And if you guys haven't seen it already, do check it out. I definitely feel it's... And if you guys haven't used Brave, definitely check it out. And if you guys haven't used Brave yet, definitely check it out. And if you guys haven't used Brave yet, definitely check it out. It's something that I use on a regular basis for my phone. And I do know, of course, some people are commenting, oh, I saw some ads on your last video. And the reason for that is that sometimes Brave doesn't play very well with OBS on a Mac. So when I try to record, sometimes there's a flicker. So I apologize if there's a flicker today, but I really wanted to use Brave. And I will try to fix this kind of software conflict bug with the screen recording software soon. All right, last bit of the news, it's about EOS. So there's a new EOS bug out there that's stealing RAM directly from other users. So this is what's important about EOS. EOS has a idea like RAM. So just like a computer, EOS is one big decentralized computer, and you need RAM to run your decentralized applications. So app developers are fighting for RAM, they're paying EOS for RAM, but these malicious users, these hackers have found a way. Here's how to do it. So they found a new bug involves users running malicious code on their account. The code permits adding table rows in the name of another account that is sending them tokens. The users can then steal RAM by inserting large amounts of garbage into rows when the apps send them tokens. It's kind of hilarious if you think about it. So it's purposely sabotaging people who already send you tokens and making their cost rank sky high. So a few key things to note here. It just seems like more EOS FUD, and it's pretty important to remember that EOS is still a platform in development. And I think it's really important to remember that for almost everything in crypto. Even Ethereum is a platform under development. There's still a lot of issues that need to be solved and a lot of improvements to be made as well. So with that respect, you definitely need to treat platforms like EOS with the idea that, well, there are going to be bugs. There's going to be kind of ways to bypass these bugs for now, which is what people are doing. They're sending tokens from another account which doesn't have any RAM, so people can steal that RAM. There are workarounds, but eventually they're going to get patched, and this is going to be a better system overall. As humans, we can never deliver a perfect product on the get-go. The matter of fact is that I'm holding this camera right here, RX100. It's Mark V. It's been 5 iterations before they kind of perfected this camera. So we can't just release products like this. So take that in mind when you're in the blockchain space. Nothing's perfect from the get-go. And that's all for today, guys. What do you guys think of this whole Jordan Belfort, more media FUD coming, discrediting Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies? Do you agree with me that they're really reaching the bottom of the barrel for FUD points? And also, if you guys are buying cryptocurrencies, what cryptocurrencies do you guys like and are you guys looking into? I'd love to hear you guys' opinion and try to build a list and talk about them as well. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Remember to click the like and subscribe button for more news, articles, and of course to support this channel as well. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. See you next time.